Today we're going to talk about how to plan a retreat. And these are for the coaches, the girlies who have an online audience, that have a platform, that have a community already, and they want to host their first or their next in-person experience that brings their clients in the same room. They get a little bit more deep dive, they get a little bit more one-on-one action from you as their coach. So if your soul is calling you forward into hosting an in-person retreat, into traveling the world, into getting in the rooms and leading, it's your time to shine, and you know that you're ready to serve on a deeper level. This is for you. In this video, we're gonna go through my 5-step planner formula on how I personally plan amazing, luxurious in-person experiences for my clients. Now, most coaching retreats, if you're selling tickets, you should allot 4 to 6 months to plan and sell out your retreat. I have 5 steps. So we have prepare, we have logistics, we have attendee alchemy, we have nurture, and we have refine and repeat. So let's dive right in, shall we? So the first one is the prepare phase. This is pretty much your journaling, your word vomiting, everything that you want this retreat to be. You are looking at the mission of the retreat. Why are you hosting the retreat to begin with? What kind of transformation you want to offer? The second part of this is the vision. And when I think about this, I want you to close your eyes, and this is what I have all my clients do. They close their eyes, and I just want them to think about their dream retreat and where they are in the world. Are you on a beach? Are you catching waves? Are you having a photo shoot in the desert? Are you doing like mountainous hikes? Think about the attributes of the area of the transformation you want to deliver and what calls to you. Because literally you could host a retreat anywhere in the world, maybe not your backyard, but even in your city, if that feels good to you. But you want to make sure that it's in alignment with that mission that you want to serve during the retreat. And this will help you narrow it down a little bit, figuring out a location. Okay, in the comment section, I want you to describe your dream retreat. Put it below. The third is the value. And this really falls into that transformation that you're offering. What is the investment value that your ideal attendee is going to get? If you're offering your retreat for $5,000, and I want you to write it out, I want you to word vomit this stuff, because 9 times out of 10, what happens is that you start your journal and things just come out. Things just come up and come out, and then you usually take some sort of like left swerve of what you really thought that this was going to be to where you actually want it to be. This part of figuring this out is super critical because it lends to your messaging and your marketing and how you're speaking to attract the right person into your retreat. Without clarity around this section, you are going to struggle to sell because people aren't going to know why they need to be there. Now, the fourth section of this prepare step 1 phase is the ideal attendee. Who needs to be there? Where are they in their life? For example, I was just having a phone call with a pageant coach who wants to step into coaching like the everyday woman, and she needs to become more confident, more vibrant, more radiant in her life. So we were kind of riffing on who this is for, because her content was speaking towards pageant people, but she really wants to serve like the everyday woman find her crown. So she wants to maintain the pageantry crown, but bring it to more of an everyday woman. And we were going back and forth of, you know, who are you trying to serve? Are you looking for someone who's just out of grad school? Are you looking for someone who's been in a 9-to-5 and have kind of lost their way? Are you looking to coach women who are in their mid-30s or 40s who maybe have had a kid or two and are just like tired? And then reflecting on her content strategy that she's been doing to sell out this retreat so far, and really refining how that messaging bring in additional retreat attendees. Okay, phase 1. Done. We're gonna go into phase 2, which is the logistics. Literally, most people just like jump straight into logistics and they don't know what they want, who they want, or how many they want there. And that's where like you really start to fail. It's the hotel or the retreat villa. It's transportation. It's the activities. It's the caterer or the chef. It's the music, the vibes, the photographer, the videographer, the retreat planner. Those are the details that make or break it. Now, this part is really fun to research and plan with and play with. What is tricky and inside of this phase is the budgeting and pricing strategy to make sure that you at least break even, if not have a profit. Your budget should encompass everything. Add in your profit. Most people don't make any money at their retreat because they don't budget for profit. Like, Profit should be a line item on your budget, because if you budget it in, you're more likely to make it. If you don't budget it in, you don't factor that in, most people go in the red on their retreat. I definitely go more into this with Retreats on Repeat Academy, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Phase number 3 is Attendee Alchemy, or the sales. Now, usually what you'll want to do is kind of mesh the logistics and Attendee Alchemy together. Once you have like a pretty solid budget, pretty solid like pricing strategy, you're going to go ahead and like go straight into launch mode. You're going to want to have a landing page, an email sequence launching your retreat. You're going to want an onboarding sequence for anybody who purchases your retreat, event registration, which is a form that I send out in the onboarding email. Attendee Alchemy happens when people know about you, like, know, and trust you, to want to spend $5,000 to meet you in person and learn from you directly. All right, so phase 4. Phase 4 is the nurture phase, which is everything from like when they purchase or even see a landing page to the actual retreat itself. It's basically every contact that your retreat attendees are going to come in with you about your retreat. How are you giving them information about the retreat? Is it only through email? Is that enough touch point to have a luxury retreat? Probably not. Are you hosting things like Q&A sessions so they can ask questions about the retreat experience and make sure that they're prepared? Are you giving them a what to know before you go document that spells out the location you're going to be at, the retreat villa address, an itinerary, a packing list? Like, how are you supporting their journey before they get to the retreat itself? A lot of my clients also have either a Telegram group or a Facebook group only for those paid attendees so they can get to know each other. And then during the retreat itself, like, is it well organized? Like, are things on time? Do they know exactly what to expect at what times? Are they prepared for the day? Like, if you're having a pool party, do they know about it in advance to bring their swimsuit? So just being aware of that communication and that delivery of the retreat itself. The attendee experience is gold. If you're asking for a high ticket price, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 to join your retreat, the expectation is pretty high that the retreat attendees don't have to think, that everything is thought of for them. If they forget something, it will magically appear, and that the communication is top notch. Also, the nurturing phase calls to a higher set form of leadership. When you are hosting an in-person retreat, you need to be prepared to lead the discussion. It's not as easy as it looks, because in your brain, you're probably thinking about 5 million things, about your business, about your clients, and you're trying to be super present for them. You're thinking about what you're supposed to be saying next, while you're also trying to hold space and answer questions for the ladies in the room. This takes practice, and you will get better at it. Phase 5 is refine and repeat. This comes down to sending out a feedback form, usually the day that they leave, collecting testimonials on site. I really love video testimonials, not only for my client, being able to market and sell future retreats. When I do ask for video testimonials, I always ask them, do you want this to remain private, or are we able to share this? When we send out the feedback form, we definitely ask about, the content, the days, the activities. Was it too rushed? Did the villa meet your needs? How was the food? We get a little bit more raw and real reflection when people can submit feedback anonymously. Now, with reviewing the results, you have to absolutely use discernment, because sometimes the feedback isn't really valid. Now, sometimes it is, and I think there is an art and a science between like navigating what nuggets we can pull out to improve, and sometimes people are just downright mean. Once we look at and review the results, we use some discernment. What do we want to improve upon? That's when we look at the next retreat experience and how we're going to make those changes for the future to make sure that the expectations are exceeded beyond measure when it comes to the attendee experience. Because when you deliver a quality in-person event, people are gonna want to come over and over and over again. And it really can create an entire line of business for your coaching practice. Each of these phases are absolutely crucial when planning a luxury retreat for your clients and your community. If you want to learn more about the actual strategy behind each of the phases and dive a little bit deeper into the nitty-gritty of how to plan a profitable retreat, I have a Retreats on Repeat Academy, which is a 4-module self-paced course of how to plan a profitable luxury retreat experience for your community, for your clients. I'm going to leave the link to Retreats on Repeat Academy in the show notes below. This has been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.